We therefore demonstrated to you how cryptocurrencies were rising today before the break. All of the cryptocurrencies XRP, Ether, Litecoin, and Bitcoin are up. Investor interest in Ether is now high. Ether, the second most popular cryptocurrency behind Bitcoin, has experienced a sharp increase in value following the SEC's approval of a spot Ether ETF. Although those aren't trading just yet, CoinShares report that Ethereum has received $33.5 million in inflows in the last week, bringing its total monthly inflows to over $21 million. The spot Ether ETFs are expected to start trading as early as next month, pending one final SEC approval. The question then becomes, is the dam about to burst, and will XRP, the cryptocurrency that powers Ripple's money transfer network, be the next asset to enter the ETF market? Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, is joining me right now in studio for an exclusive interview with Fox Business. First, let's discuss Ether. It's said in the street that the Ether ETF will take off. Is it alive in a month? It might be as early as July of next month. Who knows? How do you feel? I believe you are correct. Additionally, I believe it is significant because it will allow more people to access the markets, in my opinion. Of course, the Bitcoin ETF saw 10 billion shares when it launched in January. I believe it took 2 months to get to the same point. The gold ETF took more than a year to reach. Thus, there is still a great deal of interest in this area, and I believe the Ether ETF will perform incredibly well. Why, in your opinion, is the SEC becoming, let's say, more practical when it comes to Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, ETFs, and the approval procedure? First of all, they've lost a number of cases in court, I believe. In order to get the Bitcoin ETF up and running, they had to be truly pulled, screaming across the finish line. And I believe they came to the realization that the same thing would probably happen if they continued to be slow and quarrel about the Ether ETF. And to be honest, it irritates me that legal action is required in order to obtain such favorable results. These innovations should be funded by U.S. investments. From the perspective of technological innovation and employment development, we need to welcome these. Regretfully, this SEC has been resisting at every turn. I think I've known you for 7 years now. You guys didn't have such a loud shout back then. Now it seems as though you do. What about an ETF based on XRP? Just 1 week ago, during your speech at the Consensus 2024 conference, you stated that certain things are inevitable, not just for XRP, but also for Solana and Cardano, among other things. However, the SEC has attempted to disqualify you in court specifically for XRP. Do you not believe that Gensler and Associates might just say, now that one? Not in a manner. It seems like a difficult argument to win. Can they really make life hard? Many individuals have suffered because of them, and they have now lost in court. I mentioned last week in Austin at the Consensus Conference that people desire more than just exposure to a single product. Thus, you may wish to expose yourself to silver if you are exposed to gold. Should you be exposed to several commodities? Therefore, it only makes logic to me. Exposure to a single-threaded asset is not what you want. Therefore, I believe that many also overlook the fact that XRP was the second most valuable digital asset not too long before the SEC became involved. That was prior to the SEC somewhat stigmatizing ETH, at which point they were unable to respond to the query, is ETH a security or not? And now the ETF has been approved. They are at odds with one another. It's rather challenging to follow. We shouldn't presume that every member of our investor audience is aware of what XRP is. The currency or coin that is charged by Ripple, a website that facilitates financial transactions, is called Xrp, although it's now something that individuals may purchase regardless of whether they use the Ripple blockchain. You get paid in Xrp. Fantastic. Thus, Xrp is a digital asset that is comparable to ETH or Bitcoin. Every item has a unique set of qualities. Bitcoin has flourished as a result of truly becoming digital gold. The potential of smart contracts on ETH is generating a lot of excitement. On a per transaction basis, Xrp is incredibly cheap and quick. Gas fees and the transaction costs of certain other tokens are discussed. As part of our technological stack, Ripple uses Xrp to facilitate cross-border payment flows. Additionally, you charge the person transferring the funds 0.001 of Xrp, which is currently equivalent to about 51 cents. Here's my query though. Swift is currently the primary rival in that market. That is, of course, the Global Interbank Financial Transactions Society. That is the widely used worldwide one. They do not seem to charge much less. Yes, they do hold a dominant position. Swift has been around for 50 or 60 years after all. The most annoying thing about Swift for all of us users is that after 50 or 60 years, not much has changed. Its architecture implies that it is costly, slow, and to be honest, prone to errors. Research indicates that approximately 6% of all Swift attempts to wire a transaction result in mistakes that bounce back, and recovering them can take several days. How about earnings? For us, however, an XRP transaction and payment flow occur in real time, both instantaneous and cross-border. The fact that they are not required to pre-fund accounts is another really significant feature for many of our clients. Financial institutions are our clients. Additionally, you don't have to pre-fund because of the way Swift operates. You pre-fund your dormant capital that is sitting in other banks all over the world utilizing XRP and Ripple, our payments network. Looking at this unexpectedly vibrant cryptocurrency, at least in the last week or two, we can see that Bitcoin has risen back above 70,000. Some are drawing a comparison between it and the Roaring Cat's recent reappearance in the public eye, where he reactivated his Reddit account and claimed to own $150 million worth of shares in GameStop. Do you perceive a link between his abrupt rise to fame and the fact that all cryptocurrencies are appreciating in value, similar to how stocks were rising in 2021 when many were investing in cryptocurrencies? Yes, I believe that the political landscape is the main source of this momentum. Furthermore, the U.S. economy continues to be the largest in the world, despite its somewhat archaic stance to cryptocurrency. Nations like Switzerland, Japan, Singapore, and the UK are well ahead. We truly lag behind the rest of the world, in my opinion. In numerous of the cities, Ripple maintains offices. Yes, we do. We operate 14 offices globally. Therefore, in my opinion, the main factor accelerating the momentum at the moment is realizing, you mentioned this already, that Ripple and cryptocurrency are becoming more and more prominent in American discourse. I believe you're noticing changes. Of course, some of that is cash. Over the last 2 years, you have contributed a total of $50 million to Fair Shake, the lobbying firm where the Bitcoin community is actively funding. Suddenly, Donald Trump declares himself the president of cryptocurrency. Joe Biden has been voicing his opinion that rules should be relaxed a little bit. All of a sudden, you guys can speak. In a way, you're the kitten that roared. Yes, therefore, in my opinion, the significance lies less in the roaring kitten and more in the realization that some of the American political apparatus is finally moving and acting. And see, the Biden administration is still to come. They've made some statements, but they haven't demonstrated their support for us. Trump has included this in his campaign, as you have witnessed. It strikes me as being quite strategic and intelligent. There are a lot of passionate people discussing this subject, and there is